The sky turned blood red as alien ships filled Earth's atmosphere. Dr. Park Min-ho stood at his university office window, watching in horror as the first bombardment hit Seoul. Buildings crumbled, and people screamed in the streets below. Just hours ago, he had been teaching a class on theoretical linguistics. Now, the world was ending. Dr. Park, his assistant, burst into the room. "The military needs you immediately. A helicopter is waiting." Within the hour, Park found himself inside a mountain bunker, surrounded by generals and government officials. Screens showed similar scenes of destruction across the globe. New York, London, Beijing, all under attack. "Dr. Park, you're the best science we have," General Han said. "We've captured alien communications but can't make sense of them. You're our only hope." Park stared at the strange symbols scrolling across the screen. Unlike any human language, they seemed to shift and transform as he watched. "I'll need more data," he said quietly. "And time." Meanwhile, Commander Kim Ji-ho navigated the experimental warship Defiant through the chaos above Earth. The Defiant was humanity's newest vessel, built with technology that was advanced by human standards, but primitive compared to the alien fleet. "Captain, we're detecting a damaged enemy ship," her tactical officer reported. "It's drifting, possibly disabled." Kim made a bold decision. "Prepare boarding teams. We're taking that ship." The Defiant approached the smaller alien craft cautiously. Kim led the boarding party herself, weapon ready as they cut through the hull. Inside, they found 3 dead aliens. Tall, pale beings with 4 arms and compound eyes. One alien still lived, badly injured. "Secure it and the ship," Kim ordered. "Download everything from their computers. We need to understand who they are and why they're attacking us." Back at the bunker, Park worked tirelessly to decode the alien language. Days passed as cities burned above them. The bunker shook with nearby impacts. When they brought him data from the captured ship, he finally had his breakthrough. "I've got it," Park told the assembled leaders on the 5th day. "Their language isn't just sound or symbols. It uses mathematical patterns and light frequencies. Their main communication channel is active now. I can understand them." He played the translated message. "Earth Containment Protocol initiated. Threat level. Maximum. Authorization. Galactic Council Directive 5591. All Varkas forces proceed with sterilization procedures." The room fell silent. "Sterilization?" someone finally asked. "They're talking about us like we're a disease," Park said grimly. "From what I can gather, there's an organization called the Galactic Council that governs space in our region. They'd been watching Earth for centuries." More translations revealed the truth. The Varkas Confederacy, the dominant species on the council, had convinced the others that humans were dangerously unpredictable. They feared humanity's rapid technological development and aggressive tendencies. Rather than risk humans joining the galactic community, they decided to eliminate the threat. "There's more," Park said. "The captured ship's data shows they didn't expect much resistance. They thought this would be easy." Commander Kim proved them wrong. The captured scout ship provided invaluable insights into alien technology. Kim's engineers discovered ways to enhance Earth's defenses, modifying existing weapons to better damage the alien vessels. "Their shields have a resonance frequency," Kim explained to military leaders. "If we tune our weapons precisely, we can penetrate them." She demonstrated by destroying a Varkas fighter with a modified missile. 3 weeks into the invasion, Earth's forces began fighting back effectively. Underground shelters protected millions, while military bases hidden in mountains launched counterattacks. Commander Kim's tactics spread globally, giving humanity its first victories. Dr. Park continued his work, learning more about the Council and the Varkas. "They're afraid of us," he told Kim during a rare meeting. "Not just our technology, but something more basic, our emotions. The Varkas evolved as logical, collective beings. They find our unpredictability terrifying." "Then let's give them something to really fear," Kim replied. her eyes reflecting the determination spreading through Earth's resistance. As the first month ended, humanity began to adapt. The Varkas had expected a quick conquest, but faced increasingly effective opposition. Dr. Park's translations revealed growing concern among the alien commanders. "This containment operation is failing," one message read. "These humans learn too quickly. Council reassessment required." Park looked up from his work, a grim smile forming. "They don't understand what they've done," he told his team. "They've awakened something they can't control." Outside, the remains of a Varkas ship burned in the sky. Commander Kim's latest victory. The war for Earth had just begun, and humanity was learning how to fight back. Dr. Park Minho moved silently through the dark tunnel, his footsteps barely making a sound on the rocky floor. 5 years of living underground had taught him to move like a ghost. The tunnel opened into a vast cavern that had once been a natural limestone cave. Now it housed 10,000 people, one of Earth's many hidden cities. Children played in a small area lit by bioluminescent panels stolen from Varkas technology. Nearby, adults worked at farming stations where plants grew under artificial light. This was Haven 12, located beneath the ruins of what had once been Buzan. "Dr. Park, the new samples arrived," said June, his young assistant. The boy had been only 11 when the invasion began. Now he was Park's most trusted helper. Park nodded and followed him to the lab, a series of rooms carved from the stone and filled with a mix of human computers and alien technology. On a table lay the prize, a Varkas neural interface, used by the aliens to control their weapon systems. "They killed 3 people getting this," said Dr. Lee, his fellow researcher. Her face showed the tired look everyone had these days. "It better be worth it." Park carefully opened the device. "Trust me, it will be. This is the newest model." For months, Park's team had been studying how the aliens interfaced with their technology. The breakthrough came when they discovered something extraordinary. Human DNA contained unique genetic markers that could, with the right adjustments, connect with alien systems even better than the Varkas themselves. "The latest test subject is ready," Lee said. In a separate room, a volunteer sat waiting. Kang Min had lost his family during the first year of occupation. Like many resistance fighters, he had nothing left to lose. "This won't hurt," Park assured him, attaching thin wires to Min's temples. "Just think clearly about the target as we discussed." On a table sat a small Varkas drone, disabled but intact. Park connected his equipment to it, then nodded to Min. "Now." Min closed his eyes, concentrating. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the drone's lights flickered on. It rose slowly from the table, hovering steadily. "It's working," Lee whispered. "He's controlling it completely." "How does it feel?" Park asked Min. "Natural," Min replied, his eyes still closed. "Like it's part of me. I can sense everything through its sensors." Park smiled for the first time in days. This was what they had been working toward for years. Humans could not only use alien technology, they could use it better than the aliens themselves. Far from Earth, Commander Kim Ji-ho watched the blue planet from the bridge of her ship. The vessel, named Hope, was a modified Varkas scout ship. Kim had spent the past 3 years building a fleet of such captured and converted ships, hidden in the asteroid belt. "Commander, we've received the signal from Earth," her communications officer said. "Dr. Park reports success with the neural interface." Kim nodded. "Tell the fleet to prepare. We move in 3 days." Her crew of 200 humans had become expert space fighters. Using hit-and-run tactics, they had been disrupting Varkas supply lines and gathering intelligence. Now they were ready for something bigger. Back on Earth, the Resistance prepared for their most daring operation yet. In his underground command center, Park briefed 30 fighters equipped with the new neural interfaces. The Varkas power station controls energy for their entire Western Hemisphere headquarters. He explained, showing a holographic map. "With these interfaces, you'll be able to take control of their defense systems and turn them against each other." One fighter raised her hand. "What about the human workers they keep there?" "We have a plan for them too," Park assured her. "Commander Kim's team will create a distraction in orbit. When the Varkas ships respond, you'll have your window to free the workers." 3 days later, the plan went into action. Kim's fleet attacked a Varkas orbital platform, drawing ships away from Earth. On the ground, Park's team infiltrated the power station. The neural interfaces worked perfectly. Human fighters connected with Varkas systems, turning security drones against their masters. Within hours, they had control of the station and had freed 500 human laborers. "Send the signal," Park ordered as they secured the facility. From the power station, a massive energy surge disabled Varkas communications across half the continent. For the first time since the invasion, the aliens were blind and confused. In orbit, Kim received word of the success. "All ships, execute Phase 2, she ordered. As her fleet engaged the Varkas ships, Kim allowed herself a small smile. The tide was turning. Humanity had found the aliens' weakness, their own technology, turned against them by the very humans they had tried to conquer. In his command center, Park watched data flowing in from across the globe. Other resistance cells were launching similar attacks, using their newfound advantage. After 5 years of hiding, humanity was striking back. "This is just the beginning," he told his team. "Now we take back our planet." Lee Neri sat inside the small testing chamber, electrodes attached to her head and chest. Around her, a team of scientists monitored screens showing her vital signs. Dr. Park stood nearby, watching closely. "Are you ready?" Park asked. Neri nodded. She had volunteered immediately when she heard about the new project. As Commander Kim's daughter, she had grown up in the Resistance, spending her teenage years fighting aliens. Now 22, she was one of their best pilots. "Remember, we're trying to channel your emotions, not suppress them," Park explained. "Think about something that makes you angry." Neri closed her eyes. She thought about her childhood home burned to the ground. She remembered her friends who died in the invasion. She pictured her mother leading dangerous missions while she waited, never knowing if she would return. On the monitors, her heart rate increased. Brain activity spiked in specific regions. "Now," Park said quietly. Neri opened her eyes and focused on the target dummy across the room. The neural interface she wore, a more advanced version than the first models, glowed slightly. The weapon system connected to it hummed to life. The dummy exploded. Not just damaged or knocked over, it completely disintegrated. Everyone in the room fell silent. "That was unexpected," Park finally said. "The power output was 3 times what we predicted." Neri looked at her hands in wonder. "I felt it. The anger becoming something else, something focused." This was the breakthrough the Resistance had been searching for. They called it the Fury Protocol, a way to channel human emotions, particularly rage, directly into weapon systems. What made it revolutionary wasn't just the power it generated, but the control it allowed. Rather than being consumed by emotion, pilots like Neri could direct it with precision. Over the next 6 months, Park's team refined the system. They discovered that the Varkas and other council species had evolved past the kind of intense emotions humans experienced. Their logical, ordered societies viewed human unpredictability as dangerous. This was why Earth had been quarantined and ultimately invaded. "They fear what they don't understand," Park explained to the Resistance leadership. "Their brain structure doesn't process emotion like ours. They can't comprehend how we can feel such intense rage, yet still make rational decisions." The first squadron of Fury Protocol pilots began training under Neri's leadership. 20 men and women, each showing exceptional emotional control and intensity. They learned to channel not just anger, but all strong emotions, fear, determination, even love, into focused power. Their first real test came sooner than expected. A Varkas patrol discovered one of the Resistance's smaller bases in what had once been Inchin. Commander Kim, coordinating from her fleet in space, ordered an immediate response. "Fury Squadron, this is your mission," Kim told her daughter over the secure channel. "Show them what humans can really do." Nari led her team in 5 modified alien craft, each equipped with the Fury Protocol interface. They approached the Varkus ships that were beginning to bombard the hidden base. "Remember your training," Nari told her pilots. "Feel it, focus it, direct it." The squadron engaged. Nari felt the familiar rush as the interface connected with her emotions. She thought of the people below, of her responsibility to protect them. Her anger transformed into pure energy, flowing through the ship's weapons. Her first shot tore through a Varkus cruiser like it was made of paper. The alien ship, with technology far more advanced than anything humans had built, simply came apart. The Varkus had never seen anything like it. Their tactical systems, designed to predict logical attack patterns, couldn't anticipate the seemingly random yet devastatingly effective movements of the human ships. Within minutes, the alien fleet was in disarray. From her command ship, Commander Kim watched in amazement as her daughter's squadron destroyed ships that should have easily outmatched them. Intercepted Varkus communications revealed their confusion, and for the first time, fear. "What are these weapons?" One Varkus commander transmitted. "How are they generating such power?" The answer, of course, was that the weapons themselves weren't special. It was the humans operating them that made the difference. After the battle, Nari found Dr. Park analyzing the data from their interfaces. "The power readings are off the charts," he said excitedly. "When you engaged that last cruiser, your emotional output generated enough energy to power a small city." Nari looked at the readings, remembering the feeling of channeling her rage. "They never understood us," she said. "They thought our emotions made us weak, but they make us strong." Word of the victory spread through resistance networks worldwide. More volunteers came forward for the Fury Protocol program. For the first time since the invasion, humanity had found something the aliens couldn't copy or counter: their own human nature. In his hidden laboratory, Park began work on the next phase. Larger interfaces that could channel the collective emotional energy of multiple humans. The resistance was no longer just fighting back. They were about to take the war to the enemy. The massive ship glided silently above the red surface of Mars. Commander Kim stood on the bridge, watching as 50 other vessels moved into position around the planet. After 10 years of occupation, today was the day humanity would take back the solar system. "All ships report ready, Commander," her first officer said. Kim nodded. "Send the signal. Operation Thunderstrike begins now." Across the solar system, human forces attacked Varkus bases simultaneously. On Earth, resistance fighters emerged from underground cities to storm alien strongholds. In orbit around Jupiter, human ships disabled monitoring stations. Near Venus, mining facilities operated by alien overseers fell to coordinated assaults. But the main target was Mars. The Varkus had built their largest military base there, a sprawling complex that served as headquarters for their forces in the solar system. "Fury Squadron, you're cleared to begin your run," Kim transmitted to her daughter. Nari, now a veteran commander herself, led 200 ships toward the Martian surface. Each vessel carried pilots using the advanced Fury protocol, their emotions powering weapons that no alien defense had ever withstood. "Remember the plan," Nari told her pilots. "Hit the communication arrays first, then the defense grid. Leave their command center intact." The Varkus detected the approaching fleet too late. By the time their ships launched, Nari's squadron had already begun their attack. The Fury Protocol ships moved in patterns that baffled alien targeting systems, seemingly defying physics as they channeled human emotion into impossible maneuvers. On his ship following behind the main attack force, Dr. Park monitored the success of his latest invention. The neural disruptor sent precisely tuned signals that interfered with the Varkus hive mind communication network. On his screens, he could see alien ships losing coordination, their movements becoming erratic. "The disruptor is working perfectly," Park reported to Kim. "Their ships can't communicate with each other or their base. They're fighting as individuals now, not as a collective. Kim smiled grimly. And that's a fight they don't know how to win. The battle for Mars lasted just 6 hours. When it ended, the Varkas base was under human control, and the alien fleet was destroyed or scattered. Kim led the ground team that secured the command center, where they made an unexpected discovery. "Commander, you need to see this," her security chief called from a sealed chamber they had breached. Inside, they found an alien unlike the Varkas. Taller, with a more slender build and skin that shifted colors like a chameleon, the creature regarded them with 4 large eyes. "I am Delegate Tull of the Galactic Council," it said in perfect Korean, surprising them all. "I have been waiting for this moment." Under guard, Tull was brought to Kim's ship. Dr. Park joined them, bringing translation equipment in case it was needed. "You speak our language," Kim said, studying the alien carefully. "I have studied your species for many years," Tull replied. Not all council members agreed with the Varkas' decision to invade Earth. Park leaned forward. Yet the invasion happened anyway. "The Varkas control the council through fear and technology," Tull explained. "My species, the Moran, along with the Octeri and Feldurians, argued against the invasion. We saw potential in humanity, not threat." "Why are you telling us this?" Kim asked. "Because the balance of power is shifting," Tull said simply. "What you have accomplished today will send shockwaves through the council. The Varkas claimed humans were primitive and dangerous. Yet here you are, defeating their best forces with technology they cannot understand." Park studied the alien's body language, noting the subtle changes in skin color that seemed to indicate sincerity. "You're saying other species might support us." "Many already do, secretly," Tull confirmed. "The Varkas alliance is built on intimidation, not loyalty. Show the council what happened here today, and that alliance will crumble." Kim considered this information. If true, it changed everything about their strategy. Using Park's secure quantum communication network, Kim contacted resistance leaders on Earth and throughout the solar system. The news of their victory spread quickly, along with Tull's revelations. Within days, the reports confirmed what Tull had suggested. The Hegemony Alliance was fracturing. 2 smaller alien species had already withdrawn their forces from Earth sectors they controlled. Intercepted communications revealed heated debates among council members. 1 month after the Mars liberation, Kim and Park prepared for their next move. With Tull's help, they drafted a message to be sent directly to the Galactic Council. "Are we ready for this?" Park asked as they reviewed the final transmission. "Once we do this, there's no going back." Kim looked at the fleet display, showing hundreds of ships now under human control. 10 years of suffering had forged humanity into something the galaxy had never seen before. "We've been ready since the day they attacked us," she said. "Send the message." Across the vast distances of space, the transmission traveled to the Council's headquarters. It contained footage of the Mars battle, evidence of Varkas war crimes against Earth, and a simple ultimatum: recognize humanity as equals or face the full force of their fury. Dr. Park Minho's hands shook slightly as he prepared his speech. At 72, he was much older than when the aliens first came to Earth. 20 years of war and rebuilding had left their mark on him. Deep lines crossed his face, and his hair had turned completely white. "Are you ready?" asked Choi Yun, standing beside him in her formal uniform. As Commander Kim's granddaughter, she carried on her family's legacy of service. "As ready as anyone can be to change the course of galactic history," Park replied with a small smile. They stood aboard the massive space station that had served as the Galactic Council's headquarters for thousands of years. The circular chamber ahead of them held representatives from 100 different worlds. Some were old council members. Others were species who had joined humanity's cause after the war turned. Park walked slowly to the center of the chamber. The room fell silent. Many aliens had never seen a human in person before. 20 years ago, Park began, his voice stronger than he expected. "Your council decided that humanity was too dangerous to join the galactic community. The Varkas convinced you that our emotions, our unpredictability, made us a threat. He paused, looking around at the various alien faces. Some showed expressions he could read, others were completely foreign to him. They were right about one thing: we are dangerous when threatened. Park activated a holographic display showing Earth's devastation during the initial invasion. This is what the Varkas did to our world. They killed billions of our people. The images shifted to show human resistance fighters, the underground cities, and finally, the liberation of the solar system. What the Varkas failed to understand was that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or even our Fury protocol. It's our ability to adapt, to transform, to turn adversity into opportunity. In the front row, a Varkas delegate shifted uncomfortably. Their species now stood alone, abandoned by their former allies after their military defeats. Today, I come before you with a choice, Park continued. Earth demands full representation in a new galactic governing body. We demand reparations for the damage done to our world. We demand recognition of our sovereignty and our right to expand to new worlds. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Park raised his hand for silence. Those who join us will find humans to be loyal allies and creative partners. Already, the Moran, Octeri, and 5 other species have formed treaties with Earth. Our combined technologies have created advances that benefit all our peoples. Park's face hardened. Those who oppose us will face the consequences. We defeated the Varkas when they were at their strongest, and we were at our weakest. Consider what we could do now. The chamber erupted in discussion. Park stepped back, his formal part done. The real negotiations would happen over the coming days. He found Yun waiting for him. Grandfather would have been proud, she said, referring to Commander Kim, who had died 10 years earlier during the final battle for Earth's liberation. Park nodded. Your grandmother changed the course of the war. Now you'll help change the course of peace. 3 weeks later, the Interstellar Concordat was formed. Unlike the old council dominated by the Varkas, the Concordat gave equal representation to all member species. Earth held a prominent position, with Choi Yun appointed as commander of the first multi-species peacekeeping fleet. On the observation deck of the station, 2 Muran diplomats watched as a human colony ship departed for a newly established settlement in a distant star system. Amazing how quickly they've adapted to space travel, said the younger diplomat. Just 20 years ago, they barely had lunar colonies. That's what makes them so remarkable, replied the elder Muran, who had once served under Delegate Toole. When the Varkas attacked, they thought they were containing a dangerous species. Instead, they created exactly what they feared. Do you think we should fear them too? Asked the younger diplomat. The elder Moran watched as more ships followed the colony vessel, a mixture of human and alien designs working together. We feared them for their capacity for fury, the elder said thoughtfully, but failed to recognize their even greater capacity for transformation. The humans have forever changed the equation of galactic power. He turned to his younger colleague. But no, we shouldn't fear them. We should learn from them. Their greatest strength isn't their weapons or their anger. It's their ability to turn enemies into allies, to build rather than destroy. Below them, Dr. Park walked with Yun, showing her old star charts that would guide her fleet's first mission. 20 years after Earth's darkest hour, humanity had not just survived, they had transformed the galaxy. From a devastated world at the mercy of alien invaders, they had risen to become architects of a new galactic order. And as human colonies spread among the stars, they carried with them both the memory of what they had endured and the promise of what they might yet become.